Alrighty. All right. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I'll be right back. Go ahead. All right. So I'm not gonna spoil much of it. I just wanted to kind of recap on the last season, actually the last two seasons. Both of those seasons have been just absolutely phenomenal. I know, Jared, you hate Lois and all that, so I got you.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear. I always have this addendum. I hate with a passion comics Lois. I tolerate movie and TV Lois.
You know what? I'm slowly making my way through this series, and I honestly believe that Lois in this show is my favorite, and I think the best interpretation of Lois.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that this Lois embodies that tough as nails Lois, but also that vulnerable Lois, that smart Lois. She embodies the character. She did a really,
she
really
actually made me really care about her character. Like, not to say that Amy Adams didn't, but there's just a level of depth you can get to in a series like this compared to what you can do in a limited time frame with a film. So
exactly,
like I said, I've never cared about Lois in particular until this came along, and now it's
exactly, and that's
really invested in her character.
Exactly. So, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. When Superman and Lois first came out, I was like, okay, they're coming out with another. And this was back when we were watching The Flash, we were watching Arrow and Legends and all of that stuff. Really couldn't nail them down. You know what I mean? Really couldn't get into them. We watched them up to a point, then we give them a rest, and then we watch them again up to a certain point, then we give them a rest. With this show, we pretty much didn't give this show a rest. We pretty much just watched it. We found out that it was going to be the last season, so we just said, you know what, let's go ahead and sit down and watch the show. My wife was not a superhero fan. She wasn't into that type of stuff. Okay, so that show made her cry. It almost made me cry. I mean, it's that good.
Bro, dude, I will admit to you, there were scenes in season 1 that got me teary-eyed.
When they recreate Action Comics 1, where he's in the Max Fleischer suit, he's lowering the green car. I'm like, God damn it.
For me, it was my biggest connection was the connection that he has to his kids and how he's seeing his kids, seeing in particular, not Jonathan, Jordan. In particular, as Jordan's developing his powers, you see, like, especially with the super hearing, the amount of pain that his son is in and how he can relate to that because it's exactly what he went through when he was his son's age, right? But just seeing, as a dad, seeing your kid go through something like that, and there's absolutely nothing you could do to help, like that something like that is what brought me to tears.
Exactly, and that's why the creator of this show was inspired by Man of Steel, because you saw him when he was a kid in school and he's running out of the class because everything is hitting him all at once. I like how they added that as part of his maturity, him growing up. So your pituitary gland, when you're human, you start getting hair on your face, your vision gets better, everything starts happening to you. Well, I like the fact that when he was maturing, that's how they added that stuff in. His vision came in, but it hurt him. His hearing came in, but everything, it gave him headaches and everything was just all crazy. I like how they did that. And that's an element to that's an element that they haven't brought to any superhero film as far as Superman goes. Zack Snyder did it with Man of Steel, and I can't remember the name of the creator of the show for Superman and Lois. I can't remember.
I can't tell you. I could Google it real quick.
Yeah, but they brought the same type of feel and the same type of element to Superman and Lois, but I like how they added his family in there, and it showed the most human side of Clark that they could possibly show, having his children in his life like that. So it was a very, very well thought out show.
It was Greg Berlanti,
in my opinion. So, but it's in my opinion, it's the greatest CW show out there. In my opinion, that's what I believe.
Dude, I'll take it a step further. I think it's one of the greatest superhero TV shows out there.
It is.
out there.
Okay, I think it stands up there with like I love Marvel's Daredevil. Okay,
Yep.
loved Marvel's Daredevil, but when it comes to the storytelling, Superman and Lois has it for me. Like I actually put this above that. You know what I mean? So Superman and Lois is actually, like I said, what you're hitting on. Yes, but what you're hitting on, totally. It's one of the best superhero shows. Period.
They gave each character. I like how they gave everybody an arc, man. They tied up everybody's story. John Henry and his daughter, they got their story tied up. The boys got their story tied up. Clark and Lois, they got their story. They tied up everything nicely, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful show, dude.
I'm loving the show. I'm about to finish season 1. And I like this, Lewis. I love the fact that you're putting Superman. Like to me, when I was starting watching the show, it was like reading Rebirth. You know, Superman Rebirth. Like you see Superman being a father, trying to teach his kid how to control his powers. You know, put him. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that. So you see Superman being a dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've never seen Superman on camera being a father.
Yeah.
And they transmitted that. So, Rox, you even said that you relate a lot because you have twin boys.
Yeah, I have 2 twin boys. So the fact that Superman has twin sons in this show, it really hit me on another level. But like I was saying earlier, like one of the biggest things for me, especially in season 1, was that like seeing his son go through everything. And like I know in season 1, Jonathan, there was a lot of growth with that character too, but it was mainly focused on Jordan, right? And with Jordan, just seeing how
shout out
Superman was basically helpless when it came to his son developing these powers and him there's absolutely nothing he can do to help. You know, there's scenes where his son he had to wear the earmuffs on his head, because he was just taking in so much. And then you relate to that because it's like you actually see that you didn't have to see it in that show. What we saw in Man of Steel, when Clark went through that in Man of Steel, it automatically clicks, and it's like, oh my God, right? Mm-hmm. So, and in ways like that, I felt like the show just paid so much respect to Man of Steel, especially from what I seen with the suit and how alien they made it look in the 4th season. Mad respect, man, because they paid a lot of homage to Man of Steel.
Wait until you get there, Phil. Man, it was a hell of a shot, bro. What they did with that was just it was a hell of a thing.
Nice.
You're gonna be like, wow.
And see, you know what? That's another thing, Jared. You had mentioned that you had gone that you got into. Was it? Pardon me, because I've been doing a lot of things while doing the show. You had mentioned that you had read comics, started reading more because the movies were not that great. Was it something like that you had said?
It was more because I fell in love with Zach's movies that I started to look at the source
material. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was the point. So I have something similar to you. So I lived overseas for many years in Chile, and I came back a few years later, but I never got back into the comics, and I lost all my comics when I grew up, because I couldn't take them with me because my parents like, no, this is no. And I just started getting back into comics because I got fed up with the movies. There's no good content out there, none. So, and I love DC, so I'm like, what am I going to do? So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go back to basics. I'm going to start buying some comics again. I'm doing well financially this year, so I'm like, all right, I can spend and take care of myself, And slowly but surely, I've been starting to read, and it's amazing how much you learn from the comics that people take inspiration. Like I just read Tower of Babel.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I told you this when I was in Cancun. Yeah, I took it to Cancun with me, and I was like, holy shit! There's so many things that I'm like. Tower of Babel, in a way, could have been Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, because you had the Legion of Doom. They're tearing down the Justice League, And I'm like, holy shit.
That's
so
the
much
thing.
shit
It's
tonight.
like let's assume they're right that Zach does not read the comics. Let's take that assertion at face value. Then he
As
is
a
the
hypothetical.
then he is the luckiest dude ever because accidentally he gets accurate to what these characters are or like the stories. Even if he's never read them, he's referencing those stories somehow.
So how's he doing that?
Yeah, I know.
But real quick, I saw some comments earlier by Sin Havoc that I did want to point out. So the one thing I wanted to point out, and it's buried in there, it was from a little bit earlier, but Superman and Lois was supposed to have 7 seasons.
Yep,
Yep.
and Darkseid was
Oh,
supposed
man.
to show up in that one.
It was.
Are you
supposed to-
serious?
Yeah, it was
That's what they
supposed to
said.
have 7 seasons, and they're saying, well,
Hold on a second. I didn't know that. Hold on.
The reasoning for that is because WB did not want 2 competing Superman.
yes,
I got Charles. I got you. Charles, hold on. I got you. Where is it? I just had it here.
you got him unprepared, Phil.
Oh my god. I can't believe this happened. I swear to God, I prepared this time.
These
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Days to retirement, I'm busted down to patrolman.
I should have cut the red wire.
You did cut the red
No,
wire.
I didn't. I cut the blue wire.
And that's what I meant. We should have waited for the bomb squad.
Am I gonna have to listen to this every day?
Every day until I retire.
That'll be a week too long.
Feet are killing me.
Yeah, your feet are killing me too.
Well, how can my feet be killing you?
Because I gotta listen to your bitch about them.
Yeah, you gotta listen to me, bitch, because you should have kept the red wire.
I didn't cut the red wire.
Because I gotta listen to you bitch about him all the time. So wait a minute. Wait.
Are you gonna rap? That's your drop.
Hold the phone. Let's rewind the tape just a little bit. So what you're telling me, Jared, is if they would have let this go on, I would have at least still got to see Darkseid. Come.
Fight
what you're telling
Superman.
That's what you're telling me right
Yep.
now, right?
Yep.
Hold on a second. These mother.
WB, what do you expect?
You know what? This is what Charles wants.
And then hold up. Look at this. Look, hold up. Charles Darkseid and Brainiac.
Yeah, they said they're.
He's just like going off right now.
Yeah,
What you're
dude.
You know
seeing
what?
right now
You know
is that
what?
scene
My wife, I make my wife laugh. I'll be in here, like we'll be talking, and I'll be in my office and we'll be talking, and then I got Darkseid. Look, I got Darkseid.
Yeah.
Y'all see that up there?
Yeah, looks
Sitting on his
good.
throne. And then I'll suddenly cut from her, like I'll be talking to her. I'll be like, "Yeah, honey," and then hang on a second. Yeah, that's true, man. And then I'll just start talking to her again, and I keep doing it. She's like, "You have a really weird relationship with Darkseid right now." I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
So the other thing I want to point out is that it was the gun notes that got this show canceled. They don't want, and Jared said it earlier, they don't want to.
He had it right there.
Fans out there.
Which here's the thing. They must think we're stupid because I guarantee you the general audience would know the difference between Tyler Hoechlin and David Corenswet, or David Corenswet and Henry Cavill, for that matter. You can't tell me the general audience is going to be confused. Case in point,
So remember how they
Yeah.
remember how they first came out when Cornsweat first came on the scene, and he talked about how they looked alike. This trailer, when I saw it, helped me distinguish the difference. They look nothing alike.
Well, fun fact about that. Did you know that
Cornsweat looks absolutely nothing like Henry Cavill.
Well,
nothing like him.
You know what's kind of funny about that? Everyone acts like, oh, Gunn casted Cornsweat. Did you know that he was the guy that WB was circling after Zach left to replace Cavill?
Yep. I did know that. Yep.
He's been in their circle since the
yeah.
very beginning.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna talk about it. See, because that's what a lot of people don't know. Y'all think that this just started after
No,
BVS.
it didn't.
It didn't. If there are gun fans listening and lurking, y'all about to learn some shit tonight. Y'all are gonna know exactly what's about to happen.
Oh, Sin Havoc.
Cornsweat was mentioned as far back as 2018.
Sin Havoc's on standby, guys, so don't worry. I told him, Sin Havoc, I need you tonight.
Good. Yeah, excellent. Because he can help us put all the pieces together as far as the timeline goes. So I know because he's been following this shit real close. But yeah, y'all gonna know the truth, man. You've been played. All of you people who are riding gun and y'all been played. Y'all been played.
Demi Ray era.
Like
Hamada wanted corn sweat. Harmada wanted corn sweat. People don't know that, Charles. There you go.
Yeah.
Harmada also wanted them. Yeah.
My co-host, she didn't know that. As soon as I brought that up, and I was like, yeah, the whole idea about how when Gunn said, oh, I casted him because I casted Clovis. No, I guarantee you someone told them, hey, we have this other guy that we've been thinking of to replace Henry. Why don't you go ahead and cast him?
You know, Charles, I think it's time. I'm gonna have to pull that image. You know which one I'm talking about.
Pull it. It's time.
We'll pull it. No, we'll pull it when we get there. We'll pull it when we get there.
Yeah.
But anywho, guys, what do you guys think of all the drama going on? Do y'all like Superman and Lois? I'm loving it. These guys love it. And I hope you guys love it too.
I wish I had tuned into it sooner, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
That's how I'm feeling. And you know what I think the plan here is with Gunn? He's trying to starve the Superman fan base of the content, of the on-screen content, so that the only version we get is his version.
That's why I'm kind of convinced that I know that that they said that like filming for the Batman Part 2 starts in 2025. I'm starting to think at some point there'll be production issues, and then Reeves will have to leave. And
you know,
playing the small game.
You know what? I had a conversation with Phil about this a few days ago, and I totally believe that. I think we'll get a Batman 2, but I truly believe that that'll be the end of that, and Gunn is going to try to get that version of Batman into his DCU. I think the sign of that happening is if they delay Brave and the Bold. If we see them delay Brave and the Bold, it's because they're going to be waiting till after the Batman 2 to put out the Brave and the Bold, and then they can get Pattinson to be their Batman.
All right, folks. It's time to move on, but last drop, and I think this is a fitting one because let's face it, this one is pretty much going to be the intro of the next and following subjects, because now y'all want to stay tuned because shit's about to go down.
Let's put our cards on the table here, General. You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't, and you never will. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
Then who is? Zod?
That's what I'm worried about.
Be that as it may, I've been given orders to hand you over to him.
Do what you have to do, General.
The way he just breaks the handcuffs, because he could escape if he wants to. Again, it's almost like Snyder gets Superman. Just saying.